Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. Today we're gonna predict the 2018 Senate midterm elections. So first of all, I would like to apologize for not being punctilious with my schedule because I know I've said in the previous video that the following video would be about Florida's political trend, but that video I made mistakes in making that video, so I have to remake it, and it's still under the making process, and I haven't uploaded any video in a while, so I think it's a good time for me to upload something. So I've decided to do this Senate midterms video. So the the trend of the Republican Party is going down. The Democrats have come back to lead the Republican Party in the generic ballot poll, but now the Republican Party still has the advantage of in the terms of states up for elections. So, first of all, now let's begin with the map. So first of all, the states that would vote for the Democratic Party would still go to the Democrat. Um, these wouldn't would probably not, no, not probably, it wouldn't go to the Republican Party. I mean, and now we're gonna give the Republican Party the states that would, states that would vote for a Republican candidate. Now, oh yeah, I forgot Hawaii. Okay, now in the state of Nevada, President Trump just campaigned for Dean Heller today, and I think Dean Heller is the incumbent incumbent Republican senator, in case you don't know, and he still has incumbency advantage, and President Trump just campaigned for him. So, and the state of Nevada, in this state, President Trump is doing well in approval, so I think he would still hold on to his seat. And in Arizona, Jeff Flake's open seat. Flake is a Republican senator. He retired, so it would be easy for the Democratic Party to pick up this seat, considering that the Democratic Party is leading in the generic ballot poll, and the Republican primary will be held just shortly before the general election, and that wouldn't allow the Republican nominee, to recover from the wound of the primaries. So I would predict that Democrat Kirsten Sinema would win in Arizona. And now down to Texas, I think Ted Cruz would be able to hold on to his seat because he's the incumbent senator and he's still leading in the polls. But yeah, it's just a small margin. But and Beto O'Rourke could lead him in the polls in the future. But I still think that Texas is too conservative to go to the Democratic Party. So yeah, Ted Cruz would win. And now in the state of Florida, Rick Scott, the Florida governor, is running for the Senate seat, and I think Scott would win because he's a great campaigner. You can consider in his governor campaigns that he spent a lot of campaign funds, a lot of his own money to defeat the Democratic candidate, and yes, he would do the same in the Senate elections. And not to mention that he's leading by a big margin against the incumbent Democrat Bill Nelson. So the state of Florida would likely go to Scott. And also, when Scott spends a large number of funds in the state of Florida, that would prompt the Democratic parties to spend big in this state too, and that would probably divert their attention in some other states. And no, anyway, in the state of Tennessee, I would predict that Marsha Blackburn would win because Tennessee is a state that voted for Trump by a big margin. It voted Republican in recent presidential elections, and the state itself is conservative. And Marsha Blackburn is quite popular there. She is the favorite to win, and yeah, President Trump recently campaigned for her, so yeah, I think she would be able to win the seat. And in Virginia, I think Tim Kaine would be able to win because the state of Virginia has literally moved to the Democratic column since like the 2008 presidential election. Um, yeah, but and Tim Kaine is a popular senator in that state, so yeah, he would win. And now moving to the state of West Virginia, now I would predict that Joe Manchin would win because he's leading by a big margin in polls. So yeah, he's a popular senator, and although the state voted for Trump by an overwhelming margin in 2016, Manchin is probably leans more to the he leans to the Republican side too. He just um yeah he's he's not that type of Democrat that's wholeheartedly anti-Trump. So yeah, I think he would win. And now moving to the state of Indiana, I think the Republican Party would be able to pick it up because it voted overwhelmingly for the president in the 2016 presidential election, and incumbent Joe Donnelly, he's not that popular, but he's not that unpopular either. But still, I think the Republican candidate Mike Braun would be able to flip the state to the Republican column, considering that the Republican Party is doing well in the primaries, the voting turnouts, etc. And now in the state of Missouri, I think the Republican Party would still win. Yeah, they would unseat incumbent Senator Claire McCaskill because recently she just used her private jet, and a lot of people just attacked her for that. And she's quite unpopular in her home state, and it's quite good for the Republican Party to win this state. And it's a state that voted for Trump, and yeah, Trump himself attacked McCaskill on that private jet thing. So yeah, although the Republican Party has some stain after the Republican governor is embroiled in some affairs, but anyway, I think the Republican Party would still win. And now moving to the state of North Dakota, I think the Democratic Party would be able to hold on to the state because Heidi Heitkamp is, although she's unpopular, but yeah, the seat, she has the incumbency advantage, and I don't think that the seat would flip that easily. And considering that the Democratic Party is leading in the generic ballot poll, that means a lot in the Senate midterm. But who knows? The Republican Party may come back and take a lead in the polls because things are pretty fine. The economy is strong. The North Korea thing is going well, and they yeah, so things are fine except for the immigration, the family separation thing that probably would hurt the Republican Party. Anyway, now we're gonna move to Minnesota. I think the Democratic Party would still win because they have the incumbent senator, and she has the incumbency advantage, and they're leading the polls. So yeah, he would win. So in the state of Montana, I think it would still go to the Democratic Party because John Tester, he's not that popular, but he's not that unpopular either. So, and the state of Montana, although it voted for Republican candidates in recent elections, It has a Democratic governor. It has the incumbent Democratic senator. So I think it would go to the Democratic column. And moving to the state of New Mexico, yeah, it would go to the Democratic Party undoubtedly because it's probably it's leaning Democratic, and I don't think that the Republican Party has any shot at flipping this seat. And moving to Pennsylvania, yeah, Bob Casey is quite popular in his home state, so he would still win. As well as Sherrod Brown, he's popular in his home state, he would win. Although the red trend in the Rust Belt in Ohio, in Wisconsin, Michigan, in Pennsylvania, no, actually the red trend in Pennsylvania just faded away, but yeah, there's a red trend in Ohio considering that President Trump won the state by a large margin, but still, Sherrod Brown is popular in his home state, so this seat would go to the Democratic Party. And now moving to Michigan, yeah, Michigan, Wisconsin would go to the Democrats still because the red trend in these two states just isn't strong enough to unseat these two incumbents. They have the incumbency advantage, and the Democratic Party is leading in the national poll at large. So, yeah, they would hold on to these four states: Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. So this is the final map of the 2018 Senate midterms election in my prediction as of today. So thank you guys so much for watching, and you can like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all later.